The universe appears to be 13.8 billion years old. Earth is like 4.5 billion years old. In another 500 million years or so, the sun will expand and probably evaporate the oceans and make life impossible on Earth. Which means that if it had taken consciousness 10% longer to evolve, it would never have evolved at all, just 10% longer. And I wonder how many dead one-planet civilizations there are out there in the cosmos that never made it to the other planet and ultimately extinguished themselves or were destroyed by external factors. Probably a few. It's only just possible to travel to Mars, just barely. If G was 10% more, wouldn't work really. If G was 10% lower, it would be easy. Like you can go single stage from the surface of Mars all the way to the surface of the Earth, because Mars is 37% Earth's gravity, thereabouts. We need a giant booster to get off Earth. Channeling Carl Sagan. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you've ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of competent religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization. Every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer. Every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. This is not true. This is false. Mars.
We're too subject to natural disasters and our own folly, and if the species is going to survive, we kind of have to escape.
It's mostly about the species. I mean, there have been some real doozies of massive meteors and super volcanoes, and the continents have moved all over the place, and Earth's been a snowball and super hot. If you read like the geological history of Earth, it's like very long and complicated. And then there've been so many extinction events, not like just a few. I mean, the Permian extinction event, that was a real rough one, where it's like well over 90% of all species died out. You got to have all the things necessary to sustain civilization on Mars. And the reason that the ships from Earth stopped coming could be World War III, or it could be due to a slow decline of civilization. So civilization here on Earth could end with a bang or a whimper.
Or natural disasters.
So like what killed the dinosaurs? Well, It wasn't just one thing, There was like a whole bunch of things happened in a row, and while they could have taken any one of those things, they had like 3 things happen, and no dinosaurs. On a galactic timescale, even with sublight travel, you could absolutely colonize the whole galaxy, even some of the neighboring galaxies. So if you said 1 million years and say there's no new physics, could you colonize the galaxy in 1 million years? Absolutely, the entire galaxy. The whole reason I started SpaceX was actually to try to increase NASA's budget. Or at least the way I got interested in space was I was trying to figure out why we had not gone to Mars, and then I thought, well, maybe we need to reignite public excitement in Mars. So I initially started off with the idea of doing this like philanthropic mission to send a small greenhouse to Mars, to get the public excited about sending life to Mars. And if we got the public excited, then they would tell their representatives in Congress to increase NASA's budget. That was the goal. But I was no action. It was meant to be a philanthropic thing. A future where we're a space-faring civilization and a multi-planet species is a very exciting, inspiring, awesome future. And in order for that to happen, we've got to dramatically improve the cost of spaceflight. And that's why SpaceX exists, is to try to lower the cost of spaceflight, which we've made some progress in doing, but still I would call our improvements thus far evolutionary, not revolutionary. But with a lot of continued work, I mean, I think there's the potential for order of magnitude or greater improvements. Reusability being key to all of that, of course. And then hopefully, if we want to see if we can keep improving the cost of space flight, then eventually, if that trend is in the right direction, it could be leading to a city on Mars, and certainly along the way, a lot of activity in low Earth orbit and the moon, and lots of other exciting things. I don't really like risk for risk's sake or anything. And I do think that a lot of things are very risky with a low chance of success. But if you want to try to come up with an innovative breakthrough, that's going to be how it is. Anything which is significantly innovative is going to come with a significant risk of failure. But if you've got to take big chances in order for the potential for a big positive outcome. If the outcome is exciting enough, then taking a big risk is worthwhile. Yeah. That's really how I approach it. But then once executing down a path, I actually do my absolute best to reduce risk. Because. Or to improve another way of saying it, to improve the probability of success, because when you try to do something that is very, very risky, that you have to spend a lot of effort trying to reduce that risk as you embark down that path. I mean, when I started SpaceX, I thought the odds of success were very low. I thought we'd most likely fail, but I thought, well, we should give it a try nonetheless. My interest in the future of humanity is, I guess, as a function of reading a lot of sci-fi and philosophy as a kid, and then just sort of thinking about, okay, what's important to do? Like, why do anything? What's the meaning of life? And I came to the conclusion that what we really need to do is make sure that life continues into the future, and particularly conscious life. And in doing so, we'll be better able to understand the nature of the universe.